Good morning YouTube, my name is Yusuf and you are watching my news channel. We are currently in a solar wind stream that flows from a southern corona. Or I should say we are still in that solar wind stream. When we look at the speed of the solar wind in purple, we see values hovering around 600 kilometers a second. We also see a stable stream in density, in proton density. Just here there was a little bit of fluctuations, but nothing major. As you can see, density remains pretty stable. Same thing could be said about the PZ component, which dances around negative and positive values without any major fluctuation, as you can see here. The magnetic field is also stable and showing normal values. So no anomalies to detect. There was an M1 flare, and this is a positive development from a sunspot, this one, 2816. And yes, this is a rather positive development. It means we are gradually exiting this ongoing solar minimum. And I'm sure a lot of people will be pleased to see this. When we look, yes, this is the animation of the M flare itself. And I do believe it might have produced a small CME. When we look at the KP index, we see it unsettled. As I mentioned it before, I don't expect this to go again to KP5 because we are, after all, exiting that solar wind stream, which is pretty stable. So maybe it will again go unsettled and then lower to minimal values. We will see how this develops. Today, oh yes, I found actually something interesting, especially for those of you who have telescopes and who are used to watch the night sky. We are actually going to enter the Lyrid Meteor shower, and it will peak around the 2nd and 23rd of April. So I think this is Thursday and Friday of this week. So if you are interested in this, there you have it. You can actually watch the sky, take pictures if you actually see one. If you actually see a meteor, and I do believe they will peak at, let me see, usually producing about 20 meteors per hour at its peak. So yeah, the chances are there to actually see one. And another thing that I found, and this is actually cool, that's an animation. You can actually zoom in, you can pan it out, you can do whatever you want with it to actually see the stream itself in glorious 3D animation. But this is not actually the most interesting aspect of this website. It actually shows pretty much all the meteor showers with their respective name and date. For example, the Eta Aquarids early May. I will click on this and there you have it. You can actually see from which angle you can see the density. And I don't know, I thought this is really cool. So I will leave the link in my web links. I will hot link it. I will also leave this link in the description box down below on the video, and also on my web links for those who are interested in watching meteor showers. Okay, let's move on. So, like I said, there was actually a small CME that happened today, I believe. Let's see the timestamp, 20, yes, at midnight. So yes, this is clearly a CME from that M1 flare, I think. If we look at the Enlil spiral, we can see that this one is actually not Earth directed at all. As you can see, it will completely miss our planet, and I don't think there will be glancing glow or anything. So only stereo A. That poor satellite that keeps endorsing all the CMEs. Honestly, I don't know why, but the sun really doesn't like this satellite. Whenever there is a CME, it usually goes to stereo A, as you can see the impact. Okay, poor stereo A. Looking at the Schumann resonance, we see actually still a little bit of activity, and this is normal because, after all, we are still in that solar wind stream from that corona hole, so our planet get energized. And I do expect this to continue until we actually exit that solar wind stream. When we look at the earthquakes, there was actually a 6-pointer, and let me see the date. Yes, the 20th at 1 a.m. And just click yes on it. South of Sinabang in Indonesia. So there you have it. As usual with the earthquakes, you can see actually this is an overlay of anything above 4.5. If I put the 7 days of all magnitudes, this chart looks like this. But there is a reason why I always choose anything above 4.5, because in my opinion, the meaningful earthquakes are the one anything above 4-point magnitude is actually a meaningful earthquake, and it gives you a clear image of what happens in the world. For example, when you do this, you can clearly see that something is wrong with this side of the ring of fire. And I always say that, and I'll always warn, if you live in California, if you live in Alaska, have an earthquake plan always at hand. Whether it is transportation, communication, food supplies, people that you can call if something happens, or just check what the authorities have in place in case of a heavy earthquake. Because when this will happen, this is actually the big one is overdue, and the San Andreas fault, 17 years overdue. So obviously at some point it will happen, and in my opinion this time it is not going to be a 7-point magnitude, it's going to be 8 or 9. And another thing that I want to point out is this fault line actually goes all the way to Oklahoma, but for some reason the USGS does not trace actually that line to that region. In my opinion it goes all the way over here, because when we see all the earthquakes, the spillover, it follows really a line over here. You can clearly see it. So if you live in California, Los Angeles, San Francisco, have an earthquake plan. Also in Alaska, have an earthquake plan, because a major earthquake over here will definitely trigger a major earthquake in Alaska, and even also in Chile, and then there will be a spillover effect to the world. But these two regions, Alaska and Southern America, of course, will be at the highest at risk of having a major earthquake following the big one over here. So, oh yes, and by the way, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This way you won't miss any future content, and don't forget to hit the like button if you actually enjoyed this video. So then there is something else I want to point out. Could be something, could be nothing. I was actually looking at the sea ice thickness of the Arctic, and then I noticed something strange. Over here, there is like a circular point which shows actually ice of 1 meter thickness all around almost 2 meters thickness. And I thought, oh, it's probably nothing. But I checked the sea surface salinity, just in case. And look at that. This is a region surrounded by a higher salinity. These are values of 32. This is a lower value, but what strikes me is that it is a perfect circular shape with a dot in the middle, and if we look, it's actually the same exact region. So this is not a coincidence. This is fresher water. It could be an underwater volcano, because the Arctic has many of those. It has ridges, and there are underwater volcanoes, and I do think maybe there was a venting event or something like that, and this caused the ice to melt actually underneath the ice pack, or something like that. I'm not really sure what this is, but I do believe it is worth mentioning. I will see, I will look this further, keep monitoring this, if this actually goes bigger, or if it just vanishes into nothingness. So, this brings me to the philosophical quote of the day, and I will actually cite two because yesterday I forgot to cite a philosophical quote. And this time we will pick this one and this one, 31 and 32. So 31 is, "He who acts too friendly does not seek your affection, but something from you." Evidently, if someone becomes too friendly, it's not that he likes you, but he wants something from you. So be careful when something, when someone acts too nice. Then the second one, "Worry gives a small thing a big shadow." This is especially true in these troubled times, because, for example, if you look at the thing that shall not be named, that causes so much trouble worldwide, that microscopic thing that everyone is afraid of, well, I do believe they made from a mosquito one big elephant. And this is basically what this saying means. If you worry about something, it will become in your eyes that much dangerous than it actually seems or is. This is it, people, the end of the video. Again, don't forget to subscribe. This is very important, or you will miss any future content. Yes, don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And I guess we see each other next time. Bye bye. Be safe, everyone.